Good afternoon, Steve. I want to take a moment here and review the lesson we had the other day. When we take a look at the stance here, what we talked about in this lesson initially was that of the short game. We want to talk about two different things, one being chipping and one being pitching. And then also we took a brief review of our cutting stroke, trying to make sure that was online and where we were with that. So first thing I always like to start with is that of chipping. Chipping is ideally the thought of we're trying to get the ball in the air as fast as possible and get it to land on the ground as fast as possible. So initially the ball flies about 20% in the air, rolls out about 80%. So in order to do that, what we need to find here in this stance, our stance, the ball position goes back towards the right foot. Our stance tends to be a little open to the target as we compare it here to our path or to the direction we want the ball to go. Now, in that same regards, then, there is a forward angle of the shaft, and what I like to see is as we get into that position, the hands go a little forward, forcing the weight a little bit more onto this left-hand side, and in that way, you got a little bit more weight on the left-hand side, so what it forces in is the hands staying ahead of the club as they come down and through. So as they come down and through, it promotes, we de-loft the club, so as we deal off the club, it shoots it at it, or the ball comes off the club face at a lower trajectory, and as it comes off the lower trajectory, it tends to find the ground as soon as possible. So what that looks like is something like this here. Now the only difference here when we see this here, Steve, is what I want you to make sure is that as you come through, so that right hand's kind of forcing that shot. The ball's going low like we want, but initially sometimes that's a reference of, we get to here, hits the ball, and then you kind of flip that wrist. I want those hands to feel consistent and keep coming through. That club face never gets ahead of the hands. Let's see if we do it again here. It's a little better, but still you kind of see how that right hand comes into it and what we see. So what I would tell you as a drill to use or as a practice aid, use some kind of small dowel rod and place it up on your hands where it sticks out the side of your body. So what it forces you to do then is to swing down and through the shot, and if you hit yourself, guess what? Those hands broke down and the club came up, forcing that club face ahead of the swing, or vice versa, ahead of the forces the club head ahead of the hand. So what happens is it swings into your body. Thus, in turn, we don't hit it exactly how we'd like to see it. So that's chipping position back and forth. Next position that we talked about was going to be that of pitching. We want to fly the ball a little higher. And if we fly the ball a little higher, and I didn't get exact good swing of that one there. Another look at that. Here we go. A little better position here. Now with this here, the ball, as we look here, there is still a slight angle on the club. Hands go just slightly there in the left-hand side or in the inside left part of the left thigh there. And then as we swing through, hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Had to sneeze. As we come through, we want to think about as we swing the club through, we're wanting to think about we're bouncing a glass of wine, a glass of something. As we come down and we come through, there's that glass right there, here, and there's that ball getting straight up. So we want the hands, as you go to come back, the hands will tend to break up early. This swing here, you can swing as high as you want. One thing I didn't tell you on that chipping previously is the highest I want the hands to go is about knee to waist high, no higher than that. We want to keep that angle consistent as we swing back and swing through, and if we tend to change those positions, that's when we see that position change and not as effective as we swing back and swing through. So when you see this, Steve, what I want you to think about, we're down through. We're trying to keep that club face from turning over, so we see that face straight up, just the arrow there, and you kind of see that waft of that ball going straight up. Flying about 80% in the air, rolling out about 20%. So weight's about centered there. We're going to see about a 60-40 split on the weight rather than maybe an 80-20 on the swing before. But all we're wanting to do is get the ball up over an obstacle, let the ball land, and land soft, and feel consistent with it. So as we move forward, the next position in was going to be over here, the biggest part that I wanted you to feel is to get your eyes over the ball. And you sat there and said it yourself. You didn't, you felt that you were, and I think it was a clear indication that you were not. But we can see in this picture here now that your eyes, for the most part, are over that ball. Once you get your eyes over the ball, let your arms hang naturally, then that's when you grip the club. Don't try to grip the club at the end. It pushes you back on your heels. And all I want you to do is make that nice smooth stroke back and forth. Make 10 to 15 3-footers, 10 to 15 5-footers. But as you make the stroke back, here we go right here. Hold on 1 second here. We're back. And through. And that's all I want to see. Initially keeping those hands in front of us, right underneath our body. We turn back and forth, feeling some consistency, feeling some no breaking of the wrist. The hands are dead. The hands are not moving in this swing. It's back and forth with the shoulders, staying within the lines that I have laid down here for you. But most importantly, keeping your eyes over the ball. Now, see if you have any questions. I want you to give me a call, 314-724-6539, or